Are you tired of feeling trapped in an endless pursuit, chasing affection that never seems to bring lasting happiness? Do you often wonder if there's a better way to navigate relationships, one that doesn't leave you feeling drained or undervalued? Marcus Aurelius, the legendary Stoic philosopher, offers a revolutionary perspective. True fulfillment comes not from chasing others, but from cultivating inner strength and living in harmony with your values. In this video, we'll challenge the conventional wisdom of romantic pursuits and explore the timeless teachings of Stoicism to shift your mindset. Imagine transforming from someone who chases into someone who attracts naturally, not through games or superficial tactics, but by becoming the best version of yourself. This isn't just about relationships. It's about reclaiming control over your life, your emotions, and your destiny. So if you're ready to break free from the cycle of chasing and discover the power of self-mastery, you've come to the right place. Stay with us, because what you're about to learn could redefine how you approach not just love, but life itself. Why is chasing women a problem? Why do so many men find themselves trapped in the exhausting pursuit of chasing women? To understand this, we must examine the psychological and societal forces at play. For centuries, society has glorified the image of the relentless pursuer. Movies, novels, and cultural norms have long celebrated men who win women through unyielding effort, portraying this as the essence of masculinity. This expectation, while deeply ingrained, often leads to a loss of self-respect and creates imbalanced relationships. On a biological level, evolutionary instincts drive men to seek out partners as a means of ensuring survival and reproduction. In ancient times, this behavior was necessary for the continuation of the species. However, in today's complex social landscape, these instincts can result in compulsive and unhealthy patterns of pursuit, where men place excessive importance on external validation rather than their own growth and fulfillment. Personal insecurities also play a significant role. For many, chasing women becomes a way to fill a void, to seek affirmation that they are worthy or desirable. But Marcus Aurelius's wisdom offers a stark reminder. You have power over your mind, not outside events. By tying their sense of worth to the approval of others, men relinquish control over their emotions and happiness, placing themselves in a cycle of frustration and dependence. The consequences of this mindset are profound. Rejection feels devastating because it is perceived as a personal failure rather than a natural part of life. Relationships born from such dynamics often lack balance, as one party's neediness overshadows genuine connection. Moreover, the act of constantly chasing forces men to focus on factors outside their control, draining energy that could be better spent on self-improvement. By understanding these underlying forces, men can break free from the cycle of pursuit. Instead of seeking validation through others, they can embrace Marcus Aurelius's teachings by focusing inward and cultivating their own virtues. True fulfillment and meaningful relationships are built on mutual respect, not desperation. The question remains, will you continue to chase, or will you reclaim your power by mastering yourself, focusing on yourself? One of the most transformative lessons from Marcus Aurelius is encapsulated in his profound statement: waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. This timeless piece of wisdom calls us to shift our focus inward, to stop seeking validation from others, and instead commit to a life of self-improvement and integrity. In the context of relationships, particularly romantic ones, this means letting go of the need to chase affection and dedicating yourself to becoming the best version of yourself. When men prioritize chasing others, they often lose sight of their own growth and values. The endless pursuit of validation from women, or anyone for that matter, can leave one feeling empty and directionless. Marcus Aurelius's philosophy reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from changing others to fit our expectations, but from aligning our actions with our own principles. A man who lives by his values, who is disciplined and focused on his own development, naturally exudes a confidence and purpose that draws others in without effort. To put this into practice, start by identifying your core values. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you as a person. Write down 5 non-negotiable principles that define the kind of man you want to be. These might include honesty, discipline, courage, compassion, or resilience. These values should act as your compass, guiding your decisions and shaping your actions. Once you've clarified your values, the next step is to set tangible goals that align with them. For example, if discipline is one of your core values, commit to a structured daily routine that includes exercise, skill building, or personal development. If honesty is a priority, practice open and transparent communication in all areas of your life. These small, consistent actions reinforce your commitment to living in alignment with your principles, building a foundation of self-respect and authenticity. Consider the story of David, a man who spent years chasing relationships, hoping that external validation would fill the void he felt inside. Despite his efforts, he found himself stuck in unfulfilling dynamics, constantly seeking approval from others. One day, inspired by Stoic teachings, he decided to shift his focus inward. David identified his core values: integrity, self-discipline, and growth. He set clear goals for himself, such as improving his physical health, advancing in his career, and deepening his knowledge through reading and reflection. As he dedicated himself to these pursuits, he noticed a remarkable change. He no longer felt the need to chase after others because he was fulfilled by his own progress. His confidence grew naturally, and relationships began to form organically, built on mutual respect rather than desperation. This shift in focus, from seeking external validation to fostering internal growth, is the essence of what Marcus Aurelius teaches. By concentrating on what lies within your control, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of dependency on others' approval. More importantly, you begin to experience the profound satisfaction that comes from living a life guided by virtue. It's important to remember that focusing on yourself doesn't mean becoming self-centered or indifferent to others. On the contrary, when you invest in your own growth, you become better equipped to contribute positively to the lives of those around you. A man who is confident, self-assured, and principled inspires trust and admiration, making him a natural leader in both personal and professional relationships. To further embrace this Stoic principle, practice self-reflection regularly. Set aside time each day to evaluate whether your actions align with your values. Ask yourself, did I live up to my principles today? What could I do better tomorrow? This habit not only keeps you accountable, but also fosters continuous growth and self-awareness. Another practical exercise is to cultivate gratitude for the progress you've made. Often, in the pursuit of growth, it's easy to focus solely on what's still lacking. However, taking time to acknowledge your achievements, no matter how small, reinforces your commitment to self-improvement and boosts your confidence. Marcus Aurelius himself emphasized the importance of gratitude, writing, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Ultimately, the act of focusing on yourself is not about perfection, but about progress. It's about choosing to live a life of intention and integrity rather than one dictated by the expectations or judgments of others. By embracing this mindset, you not only enhance your own life, but also create the conditions for meaningful and balanced relationships. Instead of chasing others, you become a person who naturally attracts those who share your values and respect your journey. So, take Marcus Aurelius's advice to heart. Stop wasting time debating what it means to be a good man. Define your values, set your goals, and take consistent action. The transformation you'll experience will not only elevate your sense of self, but also reshape how others perceive and connect with you. It's not about proving your worth to the world. It's about living in a way that proves your worth to yourself. And when you do that, everything else, including meaningful relationships, will naturally fall into place. Emotional control. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. This profound insight from Marcus Aurelius encapsulates the essence of emotional control. It reminds us that much of our suffering arises not from external events, but from our perception of them. In relationships, particularly romantic ones, the ability to master emotions is not just a sign of strength, but a prerequisite for meaningful connections and personal growth. Instead of letting rejection or setbacks define us, Stoicism teaches us to view such moments as opportunities to build patience, resilience, and self-mastery. Consider the common scenario of rejection. For many, being turned down by someone they're interested in feels like a deeply personal wound. They internalize the rejection as a reflection of their worth, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. However, Marcus Aurelius's wisdom urges us to detach from this perspective. Rejection is not an injury, it is merely an event. How we respond to it determines its impact on our lives. By rejecting the sense of injury, we reclaim our power and maintain our emotional equilibrium. Take the example of Alex, who was deeply interested in someone he met at a social event. Despite his genuine efforts to connect, she politely declined his advances. Initially, Alex felt crushed, interpreting her disinterest as a sign that he wasn't good enough. However, inspired by Stoic teachings, he chose to reframe the situation. Instead of dwelling on her response, he focused on what was within his control, his own growth. He dedicated his energy to improving his fitness, exploring new hobbies, and deepening his professional skills. Over time, Alex realized that the rejection was not a failure, but a turning point, prompting him to invest in himself and his future. This shift in perspective is the cornerstone of emotional control. It requires us to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. When faced with rejection or disappointment, ask yourself, will this matter a week from now, a year from now? Often, the answer is no. By cultivating this habit of reflection, you train your mind to focus on what truly matters and let go of transient discomforts. Practicing emotional control also involves channeling negative energy into positive action. Instead of reacting with anger, sadness, or self-pity, redirect your focus toward activities that enrich your life. For example, if a relationship doesn't work out, use the experience as motivation to pursue personal growth. Whether it's learning a new skill, reconnecting with friends, or setting new career goals, these actions not only help you move forward, but also reinforce your resilience. Journaling is a powerful tool for developing emotional control. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write about situations that challenged your emotions. Reflect on how you felt, why you felt that way, and what you could do differently in the future. This practice helps you identify patterns in your reactions and equips you with strategies to manage similar situations more effectively. For instance, if you felt hurt by someone's criticism, ask yourself, was their comment truly about me, or was it a reflection of their own issues? By dissecting your emotions, you gain clarity and prevent unnecessary suffering. Another vital aspect of emotional control is recognizing that external events are beyond our power. Marcus Aurelius writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This principle is liberating because it shifts the focus from what others do to how we choose to respond. Imagine being stood up on a date. While it's natural to feel disappointed, dwelling on the event only magnifies the negative feelings. Instead, you could use that time to enjoy an activity you love or work on a personal project. By redirecting your energy, you transform a potentially upsetting situation into a productive one. Emotional control also enhances relationships by fostering mutual respect and understanding. When you're in control of your emotions, you're better equipped to communicate calmly and constructively, even in difficult conversations. For example, if a partner expresses dissatisfaction, instead of reacting defensively, you can listen attentively, acknowledge their feelings, and work toward a resolution. This approach not only strengthens the relationship, but also demonstrates maturity and integrity. Ultimately, emotional control is a skill that requires practice and patience. It's about training your mind to remain steady amidst life's turbulence. The journey begins with small steps, pausing before reacting, reflecting on your emotions, and focusing on what you can control. Over time, these habits build a foundation of inner strength and resilience. By embracing Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, you can free yourself from the shackles of emotional reactivity. Instead of being a prisoner to your feelings, you become the master of your inner world. This mastery not only improves your relationships, but also enriches every aspect of your life. So, the next time you face rejection or adversity, remember, reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. The power to transform your experience lies within you. Attract, don't chase. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This timeless quote from Marcus Aurelius serves as a powerful reminder. True attraction begins from within. Instead of chasing others for validation or approval, Stoicism teaches us to focus on developing our character, living by our values, and nurturing our passions. A life rooted in purpose and self-respect naturally draws others to us, without the need for pursuit. Chasing approval often stems from insecurity. Men who rely on external validation inadvertently project neediness, which diminishes their appeal. In contrast, women, and people in general, are drawn to individuals who exude confidence, independence, and authenticity. A man who focuses on his growth, passions, and integrity signals self-respect and stability. This isn't about manipulation, but about becoming someone who inspires admiration because of the life they lead. Consider the transformation of David. For years he sought approval through flattery and grand gestures, only to find himself stuck in unfulfilling relationships. Frustrated, he turned to Stoic philosophy and began to focus inward. He identified his core values: discipline, curiosity, and compassion. With these as his guide, David committed to a fitness routine, learned a new language, and strengthened his professional skills. Over time, his confidence grew, and he no longer needed others' validation to feel worthy. Instead, people gravitated toward his self-assuredness and purpose. This shift highlights the core of high-value living. The first step is identifying your principles. What drives you? Write down 5 values that define the person you aspire to be. Honesty, resilience, discipline, or creativity, for instance. These values act as a personal compass, guiding your decisions and ensuring your actions align with the best version of yourself. Turning values into action is the next step. For example, if resilience is one of your values, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. If health and discipline are priorities, establish a regular fitness routine and stick to it. Small, consistent actions reinforce your commitment to self-improvement and build self-respect. When you live authentically and in harmony with your values, you project confidence and stability, qualities that naturally draw people toward you. Independence is another cornerstone of high-value living. Independence isn't about avoiding relationships, it's about thriving on your own terms. Build a fulfilling life through meaningful hobbies, professional growth, and strong friendships. When your happiness isn't dependent on external validation, you're free to engage in relationships from a place of strength, not need. This independence is not only empowering, but also incredibly attractive, signaling that you're a person who knows their worth. Physical and mental self-improvement also play vital roles. Take care of your body by committing to regular exercise and proper nutrition. Prioritize mental clarity through mindfulness, journaling, or meditation. These practices enhance your quality of life and demonstrate discipline and self-respect. A man who values his well-being signals to others that he's capable of leading a balanced and intentional life. Stoicism teaches us to detach from the need for constant validation. Marcus Aurelius's words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events," remind us that our inner world is the source of true strength. Seeking approval from others places your happiness in their hands, making you vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. Instead, cultivate a mindset focused on growth and purpose. When you're grounded in self-worth, rejection or criticism no longer wields power over you. This resilience not only strengthens your confidence, but also enhances your appeal. Selective relationships are also key to high-value living. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. As Marcus Aurelius advises, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. By choosing meaningful connections, you create a network of mutual support and growth. Quality relationships built on respect and shared values are far more fulfilling than superficial ones based on validation. To embody these principles, start small. Choose one area of your life to improve and set clear, actionable goals. For example, commit to reading for 30 minutes a day to expand your knowledge or dedicate time to mastering a new skill. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, to reinforce your sense of accomplishment and build momentum. Practicing gratitude and self-reflection further enhances high-value living. Journaling about your progress and expressing gratitude for your achievements helps you maintain focus on what truly matters. Gratitude cultivates a positive mindset, making you more resilient and self-assured. Ultimately, living with high value is about becoming the best version of yourself, not to impress others, but to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. When you focus on personal growth, act with integrity, and align with your values, you create a life that attracts others naturally. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By cultivating a purposeful and authentic existence, you unlock the power to create meaningful connections and live with fulfillment. Instead of chasing others, you become someone worth chasing, not through effort, but through the quiet confidence of a life well lived. Respecting the autonomy of others. Everything is right for me, which is right for you, O universe. This profound insight from Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the Stoic value of recognizing and respecting the natural flow of life, including the independence and autonomy of others. In relationships, this principle becomes a cornerstone for creating healthy, meaningful connections. Respecting someone's autonomy is not only a sign of emotional maturity, but also a pathway to fostering trust and mutual respect. A key aspect of respecting autonomy is understanding that every individual has their own path, emotions, and choices. Attempting to control or manipulate someone's feelings often stems from insecurity and ultimately erodes the foundation of trust. Women, like anyone, value their freedom and independence. Forcing outcomes, whether by persistence or persuasion, not only strains relationships, but also diminishes your own sense of self-respect. Take the example of Alex. After developing feelings for someone, he pursued her persistently, believing that effort alone could win her over. However, she eventually expressed that her feelings didn't align with his. Initially disheartened, Alex turned to Stoicism for guidance. He realized that her emotions were beyond his control and chose to shift his focus inward. By accepting her decision gracefully and redirecting his energy into personal growth, such as advancing his career and rekindling his passion for music, Alex found a renewed sense of confidence and peace. His ability to respect her autonomy not only preserved his dignity, but also opened the door for healthier connections in the future. The act of respecting autonomy requires a shift in perspective. Rejection or unreciprocated feelings are often perceived as personal failures, but through the Stoic lens, they become opportunities to practice resilience. As Marcus Aurelius teaches, life's events are not inherently good or bad. It is our perception that gives them meaning. By accepting others' decisions without resentment, you demonstrate emotional strength and build an unshakable inner foundation. This respect for autonomy is vital in all forms of relationships, not just romantic ones. It means valuing someone's ability to make their own choices and live according to their values. When you respect others' boundaries and individuality, you foster an environment where trust and mutual respect can flourish. This approach not only benefits your interactions with others, but also strengthens your own sense of self-worth. Practically, respecting autonomy begins with understanding what is within your control. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When faced with rejection or unfulfilled expectations, pause and ask yourself, is this something I can influence? If the answer is no, redirect your focus to your thoughts and actions. This practice builds emotional resilience and keeps you grounded in the face of life's uncertainties. Cultivating empathy is another essential step. Understanding that others have their own experiences, fears, and motivations helps you approach relationships with patience and respect. For example, instead of pressuring someone to meet your expectations, allow the relationship to evolve naturally. This patience shows that you value their individuality, creating a foundation for deeper, more authentic connections. Imagine meeting someone you admire. Instead of overwhelming them with constant attention or seeking validation, take a step back. Engage with them genuinely, showing interest in their thoughts, values, and goals without trying to control the outcome. This balanced approach not only respects their autonomy, but also allows the relationship to develop organically, free from unnecessary pressure. Respecting autonomy also involves knowing when to let go. If someone expresses disinterest or chooses a different path, accept their decision with grace. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather processing them in a healthy way. Writing in a journal, for instance, can help you reflect on your emotions and gain clarity. By focusing on what you've learned and how you can grow, you turn moments of disappointment into opportunities for self-improvement. In practice, respecting autonomy might look like active listening. Pay attention to what others are saying without interrupting or imposing your views. Setting boundaries. Respect others' space and time while maintaining your own. Embracing differences. Accept that not everyone will share your perspective, and that's okay. These practices align with Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, encouraging us to find peace within ourselves, rather than seeking control over external circumstances. When you honor the independence of others, you not only create healthier relationships, but also cultivate a deeper sense of inner strength and balance. Ultimately, respecting autonomy aligns you with the natural order of the universe. As Marcus Aurelius reflects, "Everything is right for me, which is right for you, O universe." This mindset liberates you from the need to control, allowing you to focus on living authentically and purposefully. By embracing this approach, you not only enhance your relationships, but also lead a life of integrity and fulfillment. In respecting the autonomy of others, you create space for genuine, mutual connections that thrive on trust and understanding, practicing patience and building long-term value. Patience is the companion of wisdom. This timeless saying encapsulates a principle at the heart of Stoic philosophy: the understanding that true growth, meaningful connections, and long-term fulfillment require time and perseverance. In the realm of relationships, practicing patience not only fosters deeper connections, but also helps you avoid impulsive decisions that can undermine your values and goals. Modern society often glorifies instant gratification, urging us to seek quick results in every aspect of life, including relationships. This mindset creates unrealistic expectations and puts undue pressure on interactions, leading to shallow connections and dissatisfaction. However, as Stoicism teaches, rushing into relationships can cloud judgment and erode the foundations of mutual respect and understanding. Patience, on the other hand, allows relationships to develop organically, creating space for trust and authenticity to flourish. Consider the story of Mark, who often found himself frustrated by the lack of immediate reciprocity in his relationships. He would send multiple messages, expect quick responses, and interpret delays as disinterest. This impatience led to strained interactions and unbalanced dynamics. Inspired by Stoic teachings, Mark decided to embrace patience. He focused on nurturing his personal growth and let his relationships evolve at their natural pace. Over time, he noticed a profound shift. His connections became more meaningful, and he felt more confident and at ease. Practicing patience begins with shifting your mindset. Relationships are not transactions to be rushed, but journeys to be experienced. When you approach interactions with the understanding that they require time and effort to grow, you remove the pressure for immediate outcomes. This perspective aligns with the Stoic value of focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and attitude, while letting go of what lies beyond it, such as others' reactions or timelines. Another crucial aspect of patience is learning to embrace stillness and reflection. Instead of sending rapid messages or seeking constant validation, take a step back and allow space for both yourself and the other person. Use this time to reflect on your intentions and evaluate whether your actions align with your values. As Marcus Aurelius advises, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. By embodying patience and wisdom, you naturally inspire trust and admiration. Building long-term value also requires a commitment to authenticity. Rather than chasing superficial connections or trying to impress others, focus on creating relationships rooted in mutual respect and shared values. Genuine connections are not built overnight, but through consistent effort and understanding. This principle applies not only to romantic relationships, but also to friendships and professional networks. One practical way to cultivate patience is by setting boundaries for communication. For example, if you're tempted to send multiple follow-up messages, pause and give the other person time to respond. Use this time to engage in activities that align with your personal goals, such as exercising, pursuing a hobby, or learning a new skill. By redirecting your energy towards self-improvement, you reinforce your independence and create a life that attracts others naturally. Another strategy is to focus on quality over quantity in your relationships. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking as many connections as possible, but Stoicism teaches us to prioritize depth over breadth. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire and challenge you to grow, rather than seeking approval from a broad audience. For example, imagine meeting someone you find intriguing. Instead of rushing to secure their attention or approval, take the time to learn about their values, interests, and aspirations. Engage in meaningful conversations that foster understanding and trust. By approaching the relationship with patience and authenticity, you create a foundation for a deeper connection that endures over time. Patience also involves accepting that not all relationships will lead to the outcomes you desire. Rejection or unmet expectations can be difficult, but they are opportunities to practice resilience and self-reflection. Journaling can be a helpful tool for processing these emotions. Write about your experiences, identify lessons learned, and set intentions for future interactions. This practice not only helps you grow, but also reinforces your commitment to living by Stoic principles. Ultimately, building long-term value requires aligning your actions with your values. If kindness and integrity are important to you, ensure that your behavior reflects these qualities in every interaction. This consistency not only strengthens your self-respect, but also attracts others who share your values. In conclusion, patience is not just a virtue, it is a skill that can transform your relationships and your life. By embracing the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and practicing patience, you create space for connections to grow authentically and meaningfully. Instead of chasing fleeting moments of validation, focus on cultivating a life of purpose and integrity. When you do, you not only enhance your own sense of fulfillment, but also become someone others are drawn to for all the right reasons. Creating mystery, the art of attraction. Attraction often begins with intrigue. In a world where oversharing is the norm, the ability to create a sense of mystery has become an undervalued art. As Stoicism teaches us to value moderation and intentionality, the same principles can be applied to relationships. By not revealing everything about yourself right away, you foster curiosity and make room for deeper, more meaningful connections. This balance between being open enough to connect but reserved enough to intrigue is a cornerstone of the art of attraction. Consider this. When someone shares everything about themselves from the start, they risk becoming predictable and losing the natural curiosity that drives human connection. Mystery is not about being secretive or manipulative. Rather, it is about maintaining a sense of depth that unfolds over time. Marcus Aurelius's teachings encourage us to focus on our inner world and to prioritize thoughtful interactions over superficial exchanges. By doing so, we not only honor ourselves, but also create an authentic and compelling presence that naturally draws others in. Imagine the experience of reading a gripping novel. What keeps you turning the pages? It's the anticipation of discovery, the layered complexity of characters, and the sense that there is always more to learn. Relationships thrive on this same principle. When you allow others to uncover your layers gradually, they invest more time and energy into getting to know you. This process creates a deeper and more enduring connection than if everything was handed to them up front. To practice the art of creating mystery, start by becoming intentional about what you share. In conversations, avoid the temptation to overshare or dominate the dialogue with details about yourself. Instead, focus on active listening and asking thoughtful questions. When you do share, reveal just enough to pique interest without giving away everything. For example, if someone asks about your hobbies, you might say, "I've been spending time learning something new that's really challenging but rewarding." This invites curiosity and encourages them to ask follow-up questions, creating a dynamic and engaging exchange. This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of self-restraint. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Be content to seem what you really are." By embracing who you are and choosing when and how to share aspects of yourself, you maintain a sense of control over your narrative while fostering authentic curiosity in others. Remember, it's not about withholding information, but about creating a sense of balance and timing that invites deeper exploration. Consider the story of Emma and Alex. When Emma met Alex, she noticed he was warm and engaging but didn't feel the need to oversell himself. He shared snippets about his travels and career, but he left space for her to ask questions and engage with his stories. This balance created a natural flow of conversation that felt both engaging and refreshing. Emma found herself drawn to Alex not because he revealed everything, but because he allowed her to discover his depth over time. Their connection grew organically, built on mutual respect and curiosity. Creating mystery also involves being comfortable with silence and pauses. Many people feel the need to fill every moment with words, but silence can be powerful. Pausing to reflect or allowing space for the other person to speak signals confidence and intentionality. It shows that you are not rushing to prove yourself or dominate the interaction. Instead, you are present, thoughtful, and open to letting the conversation evolve naturally. Another way to cultivate mystery is through your actions. Living a life filled with purpose and passion inherently makes you more intriguing. Pursue hobbies, interests, and goals that excite you, not because you want to impress others, but because they enrich your life. When your actions align with your values, you radiate authenticity and confidence, qualities that naturally attract others. For instance, someone who is deeply invested in a creative pursuit or a meaningful cause often appears more compelling because their life reflects depth and purpose. In addition to fostering curiosity, creating mystery helps establish boundaries. When you don't reveal everything at once, you set the tone for respectful and intentional interactions. Boundaries demonstrate that you value yourself and your time, encouraging others to respect you in turn. This respect lays the foundation for healthier and more balanced relationships. To put this into practice, start by observing your communication habits. Do you tend to overshare when meeting new people? If so, take a step back and practice mindful sharing. Before speaking, consider whether what you're about to share adds value to the conversation or whether it might be better saved for another time. This deliberate approach not only creates intrigue, but also encourages more meaningful exchanges. Finally, remember that mystery is not about playing games or withholding important parts of yourself. It's about allowing others the opportunity to discover who you are in a way that feels genuine and organic. It's about striking a balance between openness and restraint, creating space for curiosity to thrive. When you embody this mindset, you cultivate a sense of depth and intentionality that naturally draws others toward you. In conclusion, the art of creating mystery is a timeless and effective way to build meaningful connections. By sharing selectively, embracing silence, and living authentically, you foster curiosity and respect in your interactions. As Marcus Aurelius teaches, be content to seem what you really are. By staying true to yourself and inviting others to explore your depth over time, you create a dynamic that enhances both your relationships and your sense of self-worth. Remember, the most compelling stories are the ones that leave room for discovery. Let your life be one of them. In the end, chasing women will not bring lasting happiness or true value to your life. As we've explored, the path to fulfillment lies in focusing on what you can control, mastering your emotions, committing to personal growth, and living in alignment with your values. When you shift your energy away from chasing and toward becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally attract meaningful relationships and opportunities. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that the greatest power comes from within. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Let go of the need to control external outcomes and instead channel your efforts into cultivating patience, wisdom, and integrity. By doing so, you not only enrich your own life, but also inspire respect and admiration from those around you. So, take the first step today. Stop chasing what is beyond your control. Focus on becoming a man you're proud of. When you live as a Stoic, you'll find that not just women, but life itself will come to you. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on Stoicism and personal growth. Your journey starts here,